All right, speaking of love, our first act of the second half of this evening is with the lovely Leslie-IvanShow and Mariah Seaman. Yes, indeed. Ow is right. They will be performing an original spoken word piece called Harambe. And in Swahili, Harambe means pull together. So please pull together your hands and welcome Leslie-IvanShow and Mariah Seaman.
Of the Kakamega district, nestled deep in Mbale and Chivambe, my parents defied all odds. You see, back in their village, it was never a privilege to even think about education. To read a book was liberation, but because of their minds, they had motivation. Harambe, they shouted together they could. My mother grew up in a time where women could never cultivate their minds and instead had to stay at home, plowing the fields for maize, milking the cow for porridge, collecting water from the Mugera River, the rightful place of a woman, a way put aside to be engulfed in a zone of illiteracy. So she dreamed and she hoped that she would make it somewhere in the Western world, where opportunities flowed infinitely and women could read, write, and have the authority to change her fate. She needed to get away before it was too late, and my Guku and Guga, recognizing that she had a brain, scraped up their leftover change and sent her to university. Harambe, they shouted together they could. In the midst of the early 80s, for the first time in his life, my father stepped off his plane into America, wearing two tight old-fashioned cowboy boots, grimacing in pain but not giving a hoot because he had made it. He had studied his physics and mathematics, and all because of his academics, the life of a young packing boy was left behind him. He would not tap the bottomless pockets of naive tourists to be rewarded with a shilling or two. My mother would not walk that 5-kilometer walk to school because she had made it. My parents had marched the line of ignorance. No man would complain of their incompetence because they were success. Harambe, they shouted together they could. There are over 3 million children in Kenya who are still uneducated, who are still riding the breakable cycle of poverty, who are given the chance to stroke the spine of a book would tremble. When I was younger, my mother used to collect pencils from children back home. She would say, "Leslie, we became who we are today because of our community. It is the blind faith of strangers that made us educators." And she looked at me and she said, "Harambe tujenge inchi. Harambe 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 tujenge inchi. Together we can change the world."
Indeed, together we can save the world. Holy, that is a powerful duo. I am so inspired. I just continue to be over and over inspired and reinvigorated. My golly, it's just fantastic. Thank you.